And we're back. So we are finally going to get to do some coding now, and we are working on the bid engine. So this is the heart of the project. Let's get started. Okay, so make myself a little bit smaller. And so what we have here is we have our bid engine project, which is in source. Okay, great. Awesome. Now what we need to do is try to follow along with this and figure out what we need to add, and then investigate essentially every single line and say, what is this line doing? What is that line doing? How is this working? And how is this operating? So the main idea of what I'm trying to do is first get something that kind of works and then be able to investigate, okay, well, how is it working? And then once we're able to do that, we can expand it and make it and mold it into more of what we are desiring and just play around with things. So that's kind of the way that I'm trying to do this. So we have this source bid engine models campaign. So let's see if we even have that. So source bid engine, and then we'll need to create something. So we need to create models. So inside of bid engine, I need to add models, okay? And now inside of models, we need campaign.cs, okay? And now it didn't generate like the normal or the class or whatever. That's fine. So now we are going to almost copy this. Okay, let's see. We're going to try to figure out what... All right, it has a lot here. And then this one is in a different one. Okay, so let's try to figure out what's happening here. That will be the first step. Okay. So using system, namespace, bid engine models. So we have the namespace. We looked at this in one of the engineering investigation videos, so I think we kind of understand this. Summary, is this Swagger? This, no, I don't, it doesn't look like Swagger because we don't have, kind of API endpoints, which is what Swagger does. But we have this public class campaign, okay? Where is the constructor campaign? Hold on. Status. It looks like there's no explicit constructor, okay? So, public, and here's this GUID, which we kind of saw when we were looking at the... we created that... Oh, where'd it go? Is it in infrastructure? Database? Here. Okay. So we kind of saw that when we were up here in like unique identifier. So Microsoft has their specific one, which is a global unique identifier. So Microsoft specific global. Doesn't work on Mars though. Okay, so don't try this on Mars. Only globe. Only on the globe, okay? So they have their GUID right there for ID, and so campaign has an ID. Actually, hold on. Let me come here and try to map things up. So campaigns, there's an ID for each campaign. It is a unique identifier. That makes sense. Okay. We have the getters and setters. We have names. Okay. Public advertiser ID. So this is also a unique identifier, which should advertiser ID. Yep, right there. Okay. And name is a string. Awesome. So things are matching up. So now, what are the other things that we have? We need this CM bid. So the bid amount, it is going to be a decimal. So that would be like float. Okay, or just decimal. Awesome. Right there, we have daily budget. Okay. Daily budget, which is decimal. We have lifetime budget. Lifetime budget. decimal question mark. Okay, so this brings up something interesting. The question mark normally indicates that something could be nullable, I think. I know it has to do with nullability, but I don't remember if it means that. Let's just analyze this for a second. Let's think about this instead of just getting the answer. Lifetime budget. Okay, so could the lifetime budget be 0? I mean, technically it could, but that wouldn't quite make sense because why would you have a campaign if the campaign is already over? Daily budget could be 0. This one I could see as 0, but then tomorrow we have more. Spent today could definitely be 0. It's always going to be 0 at whatever, 00 midnight, right? So at that point, it's going to be 0. Lifetime spent at the beginning, this is also going to be a 0 value. So this to me indicates that it is not allowed to be 0. Okay, so that's a question that we're going to ask here. What does the question mark mean in this context? Okay, so while it's thinking, we'll keep on going. Okay, so string status and default is active. Okay, so this should match up with string. What was it? Which one were we looking at? Status. Okay. Status default is active, and it can only be active, paused, or ended. Okay, awesome. Public date created at, public date updated at. Okay, so all of these are matching up with the items within. Here's an interesting one. We have a list of generic type ads. Okay. There's an interesting one. I think this one is done thinking. So let's go down and get it. All right. So is shorthand for nullable decimal. So we're back to this. Actually, it's right there. So back to this with the angled brackets, which are generic types. And I had to watch a couple videos about this to try to understand what's going on. The angled bracket is a generic class that you are able to put in a data type that data type it returns back an object which has all of the features of that class filled out for that specific data type. So if I have a decimal here, I'm going to create a class. Is it a nullable class? What? A nullable class, but specified for decimal? It means the property can hold a decimal value like this or null. So we actually got it wrong. I thought it was the other way around. Some values may not always be known or applicable. Okay? So a campaign might not have a lifetime budget defined yet, so lifetime budget can be null. Okay? If it were just decimal, you'd be forced to assign a number like 0. Oh, okay. Well, this is saying it's different than 0. So this, I believe, is similar to a database where null does not mean 0. Okay, so C# is also like that. So that actually does kind of invalidate a lot of my thinking, is when I was saying, oh, well, lifetime spent, that can be 0. Okay. And I guess in this context, lifetime budget being null would mean unknown. So I don't know how much I'm going to spend for this campaign. I'll figure it out. Maybe this campaign goes on for 10 years. Maybe it goes on for 2 days. I don't know what the lifetime budget is. Null. Whereas all of these are a value if you include 0. So lifetime spent at the beginning is 0, and then it just increments as time goes on. Spent today, at the beginning of the day, it's 0, but then it changes to other decimal numbers. Daily budget, same thing, right? Okay. Contrast with nullable. Okay, I think we understand it. Okay, cool. So now I want a list, and this list is going to be of ads. So like a list, but defined for the characteristic of this class, which is ads. And I'm guessing ads is defined where? Probably down here. Let me see. Ad server. Hold on. Ad campaign. Ad has to be defined somewhere. Bid request. Add here. Okay, so here's where it's defined. Okay, so yeah, it's a class. And we are just creating a new... Okay. Navigation property list of the ads in this campaign. Okay, so the variable ads, this is going to be a variable. It is of type list, and the list stores ads, like of type ad. Okay. So new list. Okay. We create a list, and in this list, we are going to store advertisements. Here. Awesome. So let's try to figure out what the database connection is here. Lifetime spent, daily budget. I'm not seeing that one. Created at, yeah, I'm not seeing that one. There were references here. Campaign targeting rules, ads. References campaign ID. So probably when we add a ad, okay, this is going to get confusing. When we add an advertisement, okay, we'll need to connect that advertisement with a campaign ID. Okay, so we need to have a connection between campaign, which is here, and the ads which are inside of it. Okay. So now we have the same thing, a list of targeting rules. And we come down here, targeting rules, and so we have the unique identifier referencing a specific campaign. Okay. So this also makes sense, yeah. So now we have can serve. And we have these anonymous functions here, but this is actually not the way I normally see it. Don't we have to have parentheses, like blank parentheses here, and then all encapsulated by a parentheses? Status equals active, and time spent is less than daily budget, and lifetime budget is null, or lifetime spent is less than lifetime budget value. Okay, so this kind of makes sense. What it's saying is we are going to ask for this campaign, are we allowed to serve an advertisement? And the answer is going to be, we're going to return back a true or false, yes or no. And it's going to be, is this campaign active? If it's not active, then no, we can't serve an ad from this campaign. If it is active, we need to say, okay, well, have we already spent our daily budget? If yes, then we'd say, oh, no, we can't serve any ads. Otherwise, we say, is the lifetime budget, let's say that it is equal to null. And now remember what null means. It means we haven't set a budget. So if it's null, we mean, yeah, we're clear to spend. But if it is not null, let's say that this is 2 million and our lifetime spent, so then we go to this clause and we say our lifetime spent is maybe 100,000. Well, we're still in the clear because we haven't spent our 2 million, so we can serve. There we go. Okay, so that makes sense. Let's try to do this. Okay, so we had the using and then system. Is that what we were doing? Yep, using system. Okay, and then we had to declare a namespace of, and we have Copilot again. So, come here. Oh, come on. There we go. Namespace, and we want the namespace to be what? Bid engine, right? Dot models. Is that correct? Let's bid engine dot models. Okay, yes. So now this is actually something that I have not seen, so I'm going to copy and paste this one as kind of like a template like this. Summary did not get okay, so we want a class of, okay, so we're modeling this right here, okay? Campaigns. So we want a class of campaign. Is that right? But I think we don't do this because we don't have a constructor. And it needs to be public. I don't know if this is correct though. Let's see. Did we get that right? Public class campaign needs to be capitalized. Okay. Campaign needs to be capitalized, and we don't have the parentheses because we don't have a constructor. Okay, so now I have a class which models this table here. Okay. I need to kind of, and these did not have anything right there. Okay. How do I want to do this? Kind of like this, but I want it all to be. Does this work? Yeah, it looks like it will. Kind of like this. Okay. So now what I can do is come here and try to add each of these. So we're going to have, are these going to be public? I think so. Public And what is this going to be? ID. And then, was it get set like this? Is that the correct? Obviously, it's not the correct syntax. Public, capital. Okay. Like this. Okay. So now I am going to say public string name. Hold up, I am okay. Just making sure. Headed to day 1. Okay, she's headed to work. She's headed to the Amazon day 1 building. So get set like this for name. Okay. So now public advertiser ID. Okay. Public string. Is that going to be? What is this? Oh. It's going to be an ID because this is an ID. Okay. Advertiser ID. Something like this. Get set like that. Okay. Is that... So I'm trying to look at the naming conventions as well. So they have capital as the first one, and then capital there. And this one should be set to string.empty. Okay. Other side to come. No. There we go. Okay. And it actually said right there, naming rule violation. These words must begin with uppercase letters. Okay. So it's actually going to force us to do this anyways. Advertiser and then ID. Okay. Awesome. And name was equal to, was it string dot none? I can't remember. String dot empty. Okay, and no parentheses. Okay. Something like that. All right, so now let's go to the next one, which is status. So this one is going to be public strings status, okay? And we just want get and set. And now let's look up here. Status, this is the one that is defaulted as active, and it can only be active, paused, or ended. So let's put that in here. So equals, so the default is going to be active, okay? And that's all we need. But we need to make sure that we only allow for active, paused, or running. What? Stopped, active, paused, ended. Okay. So this bid value right there. So let's just do this one. Public. Which one is this? Decimal. Decimal. Bid. CPM bid. Okay. CPM bid. Okay, yeah. It got me a little bit nervous that it was already there because I haven't defined it anywhere. So get set. Okay. There. Awesome. CPM bid, and they do not have this. So it's going to be like CPM bid, like that, right? Yes. Okay. Now, another thing that I'm seeing is all of these ones have summaries here. Like, and summary is not blacked out or like grayed out, whatever. See, here it's not like that though. So I don't know why that's the case. Okay. Daily budget is going to be a decimal. Lifetime budget is a decimal. This one is a decimal. So all of these, lifetime spent. Okay. All of these are actually just going to be very similar, right? And it's just, we have this one, which we already created. All right, I'm just going to copy and paste these ones because we're not going to learn anything from that. And it's just kind of busy work at that point. So we have earned our right to paste. Okay. All right, so there we go. We got that. Now let's come, we already got status. We need to do these two right here. And then we'll look at those other ones. Okay, so let's do the other two. So we are going to have public and now a new thing called date time. Timestamp. Okay, created at. And default is going to be time dot now. I don't know if that's gonna work. Nope, it didn't. Okay, but date time created at and then the get and set. Okay. So we'll just do that and we should be good. Okay. So now same thing, whatever, we can just actually just do both of them. There we go. Okay, cool. So now we are going to come in and we want to create, so let's think about it before we write it. Okay, so now what do we want to do? We want to create a list of ads which belong to this specific campaign. Okay, so I want a public list ad here called ads, okay, is going to be equal to a new list, right? Is that kind of how they did it? No, they have the getter and setter is equal to new. So public list add, capital A. Here we have get, set, like that. Okay. I think that is exactly the way that they have it. List of ads in this campaign. Yep, okay. So now I'm trying to think, okay, why are we doing this? And so the connection in the database, when we look at the database, there is no connection to all of the different ads which we have. The connection is actually the opposite way. The connection occurs in each like row for the ad. So each ad has a specific campaign that it is associated with. What if there an ad is associated with multiple campaigns. Maybe you would just create another ad, but it would have the same data, possibly. But anyways, that's kind of like, okay. The other thing is we have this campaign targeting rule, and that references, again, a specific campaign. Maybe that's why it is, because this class is a specific campaign. Okay, so I'll just say create a list of, I need to figure that out. So, but anyways, public list, and this is going to be campaign rules, targeting rules, I can't remember. And we're going to call it something. Anyways, figure that out. And same pattern, we have the getters and the setters, okay? And now this is going to be equal to a new list. So now let's come here and see what it was. Public list, did I get the, yeah, public list, campaign rules, targeting rules is what it's called. All right, I'm just gonna copy and paste that. That way we don't have any weird errors or anything. Okay. So now we have that can serve. Okay, so let's think about the can serve. Public can serve. And the way that they did it was super weird. Public bool, okay. Can serve is like this. Status was equal to active, and status should be defined up here, is equal to active, okay? And what was the other thing? It was about lifetime budgets. That was the other one. So lifetime budget here is equal to null, or lifetime budget is less than total spent, lifetime spent here. And I remember that they did dot value, but I don't know why you have to do that, actually. Because this is a decimal, so it should be a value anyways, right? And then what was the other thing? Like, there was another one though. Status is equal to active. Lifetime budget is equal, okay. So, I can't remember. What was the other one? Oh, the daily budget. Okay. So, daily budget is, and we didn't do dot value here, so is less than daily spent today. Okay, so we should be good here, right? But I don't really understand how we're able to do all of this syntax. Maybe this is like a C# thing and we don't need to have all those parentheses as we do in like Java. Is that right? I don't know. How are we able to do all of this syntax? Doesn't it need more parentheses? All right, so while it's doing that, we are going to go, we can save this here, okay? And now we have add here. And add is said to be within the models. So it's not a new file, if that's correct. It's all within campaign.cs. And it's all within this namespace. Okay, so I think that this is also different than Java because I believe Java enforces that you only have one class per file. So I'm going to come here, just look at this, make sure that we're doing everything good. And okay. Looks, but C# is letting you chain it all together because of operator precedence and the way the expression bodied property works. Okay. So here defines an expression bodied property. Instead of writing a full getter, you can return the result of a single expression directly. The expression itself is a chain of Boolean conditions combined with the AND operator. That makes sense. Parentheses are only needed when you want to group conditions explicitly, like lifetime budget, okay? C# has rules for operators that bind tighter. Why doesn't it need more parentheses? Okay, whatever. Expression bodied members lets you write concise properties. Whatever. Why does need dot value but daily it does not? They are both of type decimal. Okay. All right, so while that's going, we can start with this next one, which is going to be an add. And let's think about what's going to happen here. So public class add, like this. Awesome. Now, what does add need? Let's come down to here and let's copy and paste this. Okay, so I'm going to come here, do this. Okay. So I need, first off, a public global identifier, okay, and called ID. And does that need getters and setters too? Yeah, everything needs getters. Okay. Okay. Next thing that I need is So this one is going to reference a campaign. And do I need specifically to... Oh, one other thing I want to check before I forget it. Value is capitalized. Okay, cool. So, campaign ID. If I have a specific ad, I need to be referenced to a specific campaign, right? That's what it's saying right here. References a specific campaign. Okay. So that should be what? Public list. And this should be campaign ID. Set like this. Let's see if that's right. I'm not sure about that one. Public get set. So it's not a list. Okay, because it can only be one. Okay. So what this is telling me is that campaign ID, right here, campaign ID is going to be, referencing a specific campaign. Or each ad is only going to have a specific campaign that it is a part of. Now, I mean, technically, if you've shot an advertisement and you want to put it to multiple campaigns, I would think that you should be able to do that. But in this architecture, it seems that you would have to create two ad objects, each with the exact same data except for the ID and the campaign ID. Okay. So I'm just making observations right now. Public string title with get and set should be good. So this is interesting. Okay, this is going to be a string as well. So public string, and then we have RL like this, and we say get and set like that. Let's make sure that this is correct. Public string URL get set, string.empty. Okay, cool. Is equal to string dot empty. Okay. And then we have the exact same things we were doing there. So public string for redirect URL is we have the getters and setters, and equal to string.empty. Awesome. 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 Okay, so now created ad. So what was this one going to be? This is going to be a public date, time, created at, get, set. Okay. So we have all of those things. Now, what would an ad want? What are the methods available to an ad? We should say that an ad doesn't really do anything, right? Because we have the image URL, we have this is redirect is going to be when the user like clicks on an ad and it redirects to a website. Image URL is going to be the ad itself. So like on YouTube, you have that whatever side ad and it's a photo. Okay, so where do you get the photo? The photo is located at the URL. Then if you click that ad, then the ad takes you to another location. That's the redirect URL. Okay, that makes sense. But is the logic to actually trigger the redirect done within the ad? Or would it be on an on click event somewhere else? Okay. Nope, I was right. Okay, cool. We just set this to null expression mark. Okay. Wait, hold on. I did not get this one. Navigation property. Public campaign. Okay, this one is, okay, good thing I checked. Public campaign, get set, and then it had like a exclamation mark or something. I haven't seen this. Okay. Oh, we forgot to look at this. Why do we need that? Alright. Daily budget. This is not nullable. Okay, so it has to do with nullability. Lifetime budget is nullable. Oh, okay. Lifetime budget could be nullable. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Okay. Well, let's ask it about this one. What is this doing? What does the exclamation mark do? And isn't convention to be lowercase for the variable name? I thought it was supposed to be campaign is the class, and then little campaign is the object. So like I thought it was supposed to be something like this, like I thought it was supposed to be a little campaign like this, and then if we have private, it should be something like this. Okay. All right, looks like it's done with its thinking. Now go and find our place again. Okay. So here, this declares a property named campaign of type campaign. Yeah. It uses auto property syntax, okay, which is the getters and setters. So the compiler generates the backing field automatic. What is a backing field automatically? It initializes the property with null. Okay. So a follow-up question. What is a backing field? What is a backing field? Okay. it initializes the property with null. Okay, so what does the exclamation mark do? So what does null do? The exclamation mark is null forgiving operator in C#. It tells the compiler, I know this is null right now, but trust me, it will be assigned with a non-null value before it is used, okay? Without it, the compiler would warn that it might be null because it's not initialized, okay? Now, naming conventions. Property. By convention, C# uses Pascal case capitalization. So private fields can often use camel case with an underscore prefix. Variables, parameters, local variables, and method parameters use camel case. Yeah, this is what I've seen before, like campaign. Properties use, okay, whatever. And then local variables use the small. Okay, fine. So this is correct for the convention. This is non-correct here. Okay. Okay, fine. Makes sense to me now. So public campaign. So we need an ID and an object as well. And one of the things that I'm thinking right now is, what about circularity? We can define an object first, but then that object requires the other one. Is that going to be a problem? Like, how do we deal with this? Okay, so targeting rules. Let's kind of go through this. And now actually I'm starting to understand why this is in models, because it's modeling the database. So let me come here and get what? Targeting rules? This one. Okay. Oops. Okay. Like this, and we are going to have a public class of campaign rules like this. And no, we do not want to do that. We want to do this. Now, what do we want? We want public. What if I just did, does it? Okay, good. It doesn't like it, right? But it does. I wish I would underline it, be like, hey, yeah, this is wrong. Okay. And this one is ID right here. So campaign rules ID public. And what is this one going to be? Campaign ID. So this is going to be very similar to the one that we did up there. So we're going to have campaign ID. So this is also going to be a good. And campaign ID, right? We need the getters and setters. Same thing here, okay? Public string rule type, okay? That public string rule value. So I don't really know what does campaign rule mean? We're gonna have to figure that out later on in the project, but right now we kind of understand, okay, I'm trying to get a holistic understanding of all of the different components which are in this project. So public date time and created at getter and setter and okay, unique. All right. So now this one will also need that association with the campaign ID, right? So public campaign get and set. Okay. Is that what we're seeing here? Yes. And that not null thing. Okay. It's equal to null exclamation mark is equal to null exclamation mark. Yeah. Okay, I guess the next thing that we're going to be doing is bid request. So this is also going to be within the models. Okay, so we're going to create a new one. We're going to save this and we're going to push it. So get status should be this one. So get add here. And then just get status again, make sure that we're good. Okay. So get commit added campaign models to project. Okay. All right, there we go. Awesome. So we did that, and now we can, I'm going to come back into here and we will create this new one. So this is within the bid engine. We want, within models actually, we want to create a bid request. So bid request.cs, okay? So now we're going to probably do the exact same thing using system, okay, and then namespace of same thing, right? Bid engine dot models. So now I remember I was going through namespaces, and it has to do with what the other files can see. Now, does this mean, and this is one of the really good things about doing projects, is you're able to ask these kinds of questions and get a better, more in-depth understanding than you are just reading theory, which is what I did in the past to kind of prepare for the projects. But okay, so does this mean that my bid request can now talk to my campaign? To answer that question, okay, this might be a big one. Does this mean that because they have the same namespace that they can talk with each other? All right, while that's thinking, we can come here, see that, yes, we got that correct. Okay, so now, what are we doing here? So we have this oh, this is what we just created. Okay. So now we have this bid request. So this is a new model. And is this going to add... Is this going to have anything to do with anything that we see here? Like, is it going to follow with the database? User ID, where the ad will be placed, country, device type, dictionary, user attributes. Okay, I am not immediately seeing that this is something which we were dealing with the database, right? I remember something about like where it's located. Impressions, clicks, right? So there's that, but then there was also like country, placement ID here, bid price, ad ID, user, okay. Impression, click. All right, let's see what it says here, and then we can go back to that. All right, a backing field. What is a backing field? This is a long thing. That was the getters and setters, okay? So, hold up, let me take a sip of water. All right. So, a backing field is the private variable that actually stores the data for a property. What? Okay. It's the private variable that actually... But we're declaring this public, right? The compiler automatically generates a hidden private field behind the scenes, something like, I see, private string, notice underscore name, lowercase n. Public string name, get, return name, set. Yep, okay. That hidden underscore name is the backing field. Awesome. You don't see it when you use auto properties, but it's there. Awesome. If you want more control like validation or logging, you can explicitly declare the your own backing field. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so number 2, do shared namespaces mean that they can talk to each other? Yes, putting classes in the same namespace makes them easier to reference without adding extra using statements. So I can like declare a class. So from my bid request, I should be able to declare an add, like instantiate an add object, I believe. That's what it's saying. Okay. So, namespace bid engine models. And we have all of those classes, right? Because they're all in bid engine, campaign can have a property of list add without needing using, okay, at the top. They're already in the same namespace. Yep, okay. If bid request were in a different namespace, say bid request, you'd need to have this at the top, okay. Okay, very good. So yeah, let's see what we have here. So public class bid request. Let's public class bid request is going to have which fields? User ID. Okay. Public string user ID. Public string placement ID. Country code, device type, user attributes. And this is going to be a dictionary with key of string, value of object. And then that's it. And this is what? A bid request. Each request, I'm going to request something. Okay, hold on. Let me think about this. If I am the person being served the ad, okay, I am requesting an ad, and I am going to have a user ID, right? Okay. I'm going to request it on a specific location, either the home page or the banner or a pre-roll ad, whatever it is. Okay? I am going to be from a specific location. I'm going to be requesting from a specific device type. And I am going to have attributes. And this might be my name, and the object is going to be maybe all of my previous history or something, so that they can determine which ad to give. Oh, I kind of see what's happening here. Okay, that makes sense. And then bid response, add content. Okay, so this one, I think, as long as we understand generally what's going on here, I'm gonna just copy and paste this one in. Okay. Okay. As long as we get the main things. So bid response, now we're going to have a public class of bid response. Okay. And now what is this one going to do? Before I go and look at it, let me think about what's going to be in here. This one is going to be, if I do a bid, no, if I'm requesting as the user, it's going to go out and then figure out which ad to give. And there needs to be a decision which is made, right? And so that decision is what I'm modeling here with this class. So that is, it should have some ad, like properties. So it should contain a specific ad, right? Okay. So a response, the ID of the winning campaign. Okay. The ID of the ad. Yes. Specific ad within the campaign. Okay. The bid price, the amount that it's going to give. The ad content to serve the user. Public ad content. We haven't created this yet. Okay. The confidence. How well this matches targeting. Okay. Here's ad content. That's going to be the actual ad, which is going to be the title, image URL, and redirect URL. Let's do this one first. So let's come here and say public class add, what was it? Add content. Like this. And now, okay, what are the things which I am expecting to be in an ad? I need public URL. Okay. Public string URL. Public, the URL, the redirect, title, image URL, redirect URL. Okay, similar to what I was thinking. Okay, image, sure. We'll just copy this image URL. Then this one is going to be public string title, and we also have the get and set, and they are going to be equal to, was it null exclamation mark? Is that what they did? No, string.empty. Okay. Okay, just copy and paste this up to here. And now what was the other one? Public string, and it was the redirect URL. Okay, and this is also with the getters and setters. And we have that. Okay, so now let me go back up to here and try to think about this one. Okay. So, bid response. My response is going to have a campaign ID, right? So public GUID for ID. What if I just did like this? Do I get an error? No. Campaign ID. ID. Okay. And then no. Get set like this, and then just do that. Okay. So we have this one. Public. The bid is also going to have a no. It's going to need an add, right? Add content. Add content is equal to with the getters and setters. Add ID maybe. ID. Something like this. Oh, what else does it need? So what I'm trying to understand right now is how am I modeling this, and how are these two things kind of related and playing off of each other? Campaign ID, add ID, I have both of those, right? Campaign ID, add ID, and then we have bid price, add content. Okay, so public add content, get and set is, this one is going to be equal to null, like that. Okay. Yeah, bid price and confidence. Both of those are decimal and double. Okay, so public decimal bid price, like this, public double is going to be, what was the other one? Confidence. With those getters and setters. Okay, so I think this is also reasonable. I think we got it, right? Okay, so the next step is we're going to have to go and start creating the database context. That will be in the next video. So if you are interested, subscribe and join me along on this journey, and we'll continue to try to understand this project and get something working. So yeah, subscribe if you want to. Thank you for watching. My name is Timothy Lee Grant, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. I'll take probably like an hour break, and then we're gonna hit back once again. We're gonna keep on going. We're gonna keep making progress. More videos today. So yeah, thank you for watching. My name is Timothy Lee Grant. I will see you guys very soon. Bye.